Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up, Bob Iger says he will stay on President Trump's advisory council. Disney Cruise Line is being sued over hazardous bathroom conditions. And Zachary Levi says he knows that the turkey legs at Disney are, in fact, emu. All that, plus news, roundtable, rapid fire, and much, much more. Live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode number 932 for the week of March 14th, 2017. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Let the experts at Dreams Unlimited Travel help you plan the perfect Disney, Universal, cruise, or Adventures by Disney vacation. Visit us on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is John Magi, and I will be your host. And I am joined at the table this week by a bunch of random people I just happen to know. Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
What's his name? Corey
I'm just
Martin.
happy to be here. That's my name.
Corey Martin. And back in our production facility, we have our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Again, welcome. We just want to let you know that Pete Werner is actually in New York City, which is why he is not hosting the show. He's enjoying a nice trip to New York in a blizzard. He has decided that that's more fun than being with any of us, apparently. No, he's there to see, what is he there to see?
Bette Midler.
Hello, Dolly.
Yep, the opening night, I believe, right? He has the first show.
The opening night of previews.
Excellent. We have heard from Pete, and I think he's doing okay. We've seen some reports from New York City, and the snow's not as bad there as it is other places. But for our friends and listeners and watchers who are in the Northeast, we hope you guys stay safe.
I talked to someone from New England this morning, and they said it was snow central.
Pretty big storm. Was it Storm Stella? Blizzard
Yes.
Stella? I don't
Stella.
know. Stella.
Meanwhile, we're wearing hoodies because it's below 60.
Chilly here in Florida. It actually is, and it's windy.
Yeah.
And we have frost advisories in the northern part of the state. So
You can feel the sympathy emanating from the Northeast.
all right. So let's get started with some housekeeping. I want to bring you guys up to speed on our 20th anniversary celebration of the Diz. Again, this is June 1st, 2017. We will be celebrating all that week at the Walt Disney World Resort. We have some rooms that we've booked through the group space, and these are special pricing we have for our folks. There are some rooms still available, so if you're interested, you can go and book a discounted room for the stay. We will be doing an auction to raise money for Give Kids the World. We announced that last week that our link is available to submit your items for the auction. We hope we've set up a pretty easy system so that folks can just submit their stuff, and once we receive it, we'll have a nice flow of putting the items out for auction. I don't have any new information. I apologize. We were supposed to get some updates today. I can let you know that the rooms that we're holding for the auction and for our sort of meet and greet areas and our come and get your credentials, those will be in the Boardwalk Resort. We will have specifically what rooms they are as soon as we know from Disney. But that's where we were last time, right?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
Mega
that
Meet.
worked out well.
I think we're going to get the exact same rooms.
Okay.
And again, we're also planning our big party for June 1st, 2017. That's a Thursday. I can't give you any specifics. However, I can let you know that it will be an evening event for sure. Think along the lines of Dizzapaloozas and things like that. It will be in a Disney theme park. So let's just say that for now, and then we will hopefully have details this week so you guys can start signing up for that. Also, moving on in housekeeping, let you know about upcoming shows we have, upcoming podcasts. Every Monday, the Dreams Unlimited Travel podcast hosted by myself. This past Monday, we did a Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's itineraries. We talked about that with Tracy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what we're going to do this upcoming Monday. We've got a couple of shows that we've recorded that I need to look at to see exactly what we're going to do. We may do a may release 2 shorter shows, or we may have nothing at all. So it's going to be a surprise next week. We're not quite sure yet. Moving on, Rhino, tell us about DizPop this week.
This week I'll be joined by Miss Stephen Porter, and she and I will be discussing our favorite Disney. Oh, we rank the live-action Disney movies, the live-action animated remake Disney movies, and we say which ones we think are doing it right, which ones kind of dropped the ball or missed the mark on that, in order to get prepared for the release of the live-action Beauty and the Beast this coming Friday. Which also maybe this weekend we'll do a review of that at some point. But
and when is DizPop?
DizPop it'll definitely be this Friday. It's usually Friday-ish, but it's this Friday for sure. So, yeah. So tune into that and let us know what your favorite of those remakes has been thus far, and one that you're looking forward to in the future, because we talk about that as well. Because did you know there are 22 of them currently being considered to be made by Disney right now? So that's pretty much the name of the movie game for them in the future right now.
Well, they've figured out that that's how to make money.
Yeah.
You get the same franchise. You don't have to pay for it again.
It's built-in marketing. Because
Exactly.
you're already tapping into that from the 80s and 90s and whatever, and just moving forward with that.
Built-in audiences.
Yep.
People are going to want to see it. Excellent. Thank you, Rhino. Craig, what about the Universal edition? Every Thursday, you guys do things about Universal and stuff?
Yeah, we do. I'm kind of in the same boat as you right now. I don't know what's actually going to happen this week, but I can tell you, Rhino and I are trying to get over to go see the brand new Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon attraction that's in soft openings. So we just have not had a free second. So hopefully we'll be able to get over there tomorrow, so that way we can talk about it on Wednesday. And if not, then, well,
Yeah, something will happen.
we'll find out. Yeah, exactly.
I hope you get a chance to see Jimmy Fallon's soft opening. I think that would be interesting for you guys to talk about that.
Don't not
Nothing
think that
Craig
at all.
loves more.
It's more than a soft opening. Do you have information for us on the Disneyland show?
Yes, of course I do. So on this week's Disneyland edition, the team discusses their favorites from this year's California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. So you can find that right now on iTunes. And then remember, if you want to listen to them live on Sunday nights at Mixler.com at 7 p.m. Pacific time, you can tune in and hear all about it then. And also going to plug... Tom made a whole bunch of videos about the California Food and Wine Festival that's happening right now, and we're releasing them over the next couple days, couple at a time. So if you want an even more in-depth look at that event, go ahead and watch those videos.
Awesome.
I do have a little Disneyland team thing. It's Mary Jo's birthday today, so I just
Yes.
want to say happy
Happy
birthday to Mary
birthday.
Jo.
Birthday, Mary Jo. Wow, very cool. Excellent. Thank you, Craig. What else in housekeeping? Ronnie, you want to talk about Patreon?
Yeah, so if you're not aware yet, or you're tired of us hearing about it, but we have a Patreon site now, and Patreon is designed to help creative people like ourselves with day-to-day costs of running things like the podcast, equipment upgrades, all that stuff we do. It just makes the videos we do better. It gives us a little more breathing room with some stuff like that. So you can... Pete is talking to me through a voice in the wall here, but so you can donate monetarily anywhere from like $1 to $100 as much as you want, as frequently or infrequently as you want, and you'll get access to a bunch of exclusive content that's made for you, wallpapers, phone wallpapers. There's exclusive vlogs. You get to know the team a little bit better. I've been doing, Kevin, I think yours was the last of the Spotify playlists I put up there that people really enjoyed.
Shoot, I knew I was forgetting something.
Yeah.
It's all right. Julie sent me one. So Julie's going out this week for anybody that is subscribed to
It's
that.
probably
I've been-
all Gwen Stefani.
It absolutely is all Gwen
Really?
Stefani. Yeah.
I was
All
joking.
15 songs she sent me are Gwen Stefani.
That
no
is
doubt.
hilarious.
Well, I picked all songs that I really, really love.
Yeah, well, so yours was great. I actually liked mine so much that I made for the Patreon playlist. I keep listening to it, like I've been listening to it nonstop. So I'm really, this was fun for me. It's a way for you guys to get to know us a little better.
Do you know how I picked that out?
How did you?
I picked out the most
The top
played song,
25 months.
the most played songs on my iPhone.
Mine did not line up for appropriate sharing yet, so I didn't. I have
Oh
got to,
yeah,
you know,
I
all
might
that.
have to create a couple.
Yeah. So there'll be more stuff like that. You get early access to our minisodes, and just kind of anything we come up with along the way too. So like I said, it's as little as you want to give, as infrequently or frequently as you want to give, that's at patreon.com/disunplugged. And we'll have a link to that in the show notes page, I guess. I'm saying it because it sounds familiar.
It's been there every single week.
Okay,
since we've
that's
had
what
it.
I assumed. It's
Seems
also
like something
in the
we might
YouTube
do, but we're
videos,
not
too.
quite sure. Excellent. Thank you, Rhino, for that. Anybody else?
I do.
Housekeeping? All right.
I need a clean house. Just want to remind people that we're doing this cruise in March of 2018, March 24th. We're going all around the country of Italy. It's on Viking Ocean Cruises. The bottom 3 tiers the bottom 2 are sold out. The next one is within striking distance of sold out, and the one above that is just becoming limited. So if you're interested in going, the prices you're going to have to pay are going to go up because you're going to have to pick a higher level of stateroom. If you're interested, Kevin at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
Excellent. Anything else before we move on? All right. Seems like we're good. All right. We're going to move on to the news. Before we go on to the news that Kathy will read for us, I just want people to know that Teresa has not been fired. Everything is okay with Teresa.
We tried. The lawyers wouldn't know.
Really. She had a little bit of flubs last week, but we think she's
I thought it
still
was
fine.
hilarious.
She's in the chat
though.
room, actually, right
Is
now.
she
I thought
in
it
the
was
chat room?
hilarious. I enjoyed
Making
it.
typos.
It's funny for you people who didn't have to host the show. You really should be making typos. All right, so we have Kathy with the news. Go ahead, Kathy. Take it away.
Okay. Disney CEO Iger to stay on Trump's advisory council. The Walt Disney Company had an annual meeting for their investors on last Wednesday. The discussion became political, and Disney CEO Bob Iger was questioned from both liberal and conservative investors about the media, immigration, and his role on President Trump's advisory council. Disney CEO Bob Iger stated that he will not step down from President Trump's advisory council. He believes that it is in the best interest of our company and our industry to have an opportunity to express specific points of view directly to the President of the United States. There are approximately 15 current and former CEOs on Trump's advisory council. Iger made it clear that his participation in President Trump's advisory council doesn't represent his approval of some of Trump's actions and policies as president. Last month, Iger did miss the first meeting of the advisory council, but stated that it conflicted with a Disney board meeting. On immigration, Iger stated that a policy that is open to the world is, I think, something that is vital to the future success of the Walt Disney Company and this country. Conservative Justin Danhoff of the National Center for Public Policy Research indicated that Disney television networks and media, including ABC and ESPN, have a bias in favor of liberal coastal elites. Iger stated that the Disney-operated media is not at all biased. He was proud that Disney-operated media present news in an extremely fair way.
Almost the exact same words I said when we first read that story about him possibly not being on the council. I said, isn't it better to have the president's ear and discuss these things with him rather than not be on the council? So I give Bob Iger credit for continuing on. I think it's a good thing.
I agree.
And I'm sure when he decides that it's not in Disney's best interest, he won't be on the council anymore.
Well, my hope is that since, Disney all around the world is all about traveling and people going from all these places, through ABD and just to get to the other theme parks, is that, he can keep that, that always open and in discussion. And,
Right. Express those views that like he did in this great quote that said, listen, the future of our company and our country is, the fact that we want to include everybody. So hopefully he'll be able to express those ideas going forward for sure. All right. Moving on to our next news story.
Disney Cruise Line sued over hazardous bathroom conditions. A Florida woman has filed a lawsuit against Disney Cruise Line on behalf of her son, claiming that Disney failed to maintain the ship in a safe condition.
Wait a minute. Is this her view after she fell? What is this
photo.
picture of? It's very,
This is when Craig was reenacting scenes of Psycho in his...
But maybe it gives you the,
there's a
falling.
perspective from when she fell. It's very Orwellian.
I took this from Tom Bell's news story on that, so we need to pass the blame to Tom Bell.
That is Tom Bell's view of the world, so I believe that's probably accurate. Sorry, Kathy, go ahead.
That's okay. According to the complaint filed last month by Alicia Rowland, her Her child tripped and fell in the bathroom while on a cruise in March 2016. During the fall, the child hit his cheek on the metal strip on the side of the bathtub. Roland alleges that the bathroom posed a hazardous condition and that Disney Cruise Line not only failed to maintain the bathroom, but also failed to warn passengers of the unsafe condition. She is asking for a jury trial and is seeking damages and interest.
All right. So how long has Disney Cruise Line been sailing? Are we looking at 20 years almost, right?
Yeah,
98, I believe.
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. This is the first time someone has brought this situation up. I don't believe that this is the fault of Disney Cruise Line.
No.
Does anyone else think so?
No, it's not. I mean, you have to get used to that little step up. I mean, it's there. You just have to get used to it. I mean, we're going on a cruise soon, and I'm sure Ferris is going to trip a couple times, and so will I. And it just happened.
Imagine what Disney would have to warn you of before you got on.
Really?
Be careful of the doors. Be careful of the drawers. Be careful of the bathroom. Be careful of the bathtub. I mean,
I think that's what's going to happen, though. I think it reminds me a little bit, and not in the same realm, but of the alligator at the Grand Floridian. Is that, like, to us, it seems very obvious that you don't go in a body of water in Florida, but unfortunately, to people from other places, they don't know. So
I think people in other places don't have bathrooms.
Well, I don't know that they've ever done a cruise before, and I don't know. When you go to Disney, your mind isn't there. That maybe they don't know that the ship shakes back and forth. So I'm not saying that. To me, it's common sense. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking that she could get a lawsuit.
How do these people navigate the world?
That's what I'm saying, though. We're going to live in a world soon where there is, like what you said, the warning sign on the door, the warning sign in the bathroom, the warning sign on the other
Caution
thing.
tape on the
which is what they
edges.
normally tell you anyways when you go in there to bring your stuff in. I've only been on like 2 or 3 cruises, and every time a stateroom attendant has said, be careful of the doors, be careful of the whatever,
Yeah, what scares me the most are those doors. When you leave your veranda open
Yeah.
and that door comes
When it
slamming
slams.
shut.
Those doors are heavy.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They could take a hand off.
The stateroom
Small
attendant
hand.
is telling you to be careful not to
Tiny
trip.
hand.
Yeah, well, they've told me to be careful about.
they tell you that?
In the
No.
Oh, I've had that before.
On
But remember-
a Disney Cruise Line, I've had them say, careful, there's a step up into
Yeah.
the bathroom. I've had them say that.
Yeah, but it is one of those, like, well, you're on a moving object. You have, maybe this is the first moving object they've ever been able to walk around on. I don't know. I'm not making light of the kid fell and he probably did hurt himself, but I don't know that that's a normal thing that happens in life whenever. I slipped the other day when I was getting out of the shower. So, like, it's a scary thing, but I don't have a warning sign in my room that says, like,
But that's why
watch out,
Disney
Rhino.
Cruise Line doesn't offer drink packages.
Is that why? 'Cause their,
Not
tubs,
children.
Yeah.
their tubs are hazardous.
Especially to the kids.
We'll see how that turns out. Again,
I hope the kid's okay. That's all.
absolutely, we don't want anybody to be hurt for sure. But you read these stories, and I think the first thing you think is people are just looking to make money. Mm-hmm. They're just looking to get money out of Disney. But
Or a free cruise.
yeah, all right.
Okay, Zachary Levi claims the Disneyland turkey legs are actually emu legs. Actor Zachary Levi, star of the new animated series Tangled Before Ever After, was on Conan O'Brien on Thursday evening. During the interview, Zachary Levi claimed an old Disney myth to be true. He believes that the Disneyland turkey legs are actually emu. This is an old wives' tale for Disney park fans, but according to Levi, he has cast member friends at Disneyland that told him it was true.
Okay, I gotta say something. I don't get a chance to see the pictures because I'm usually reading the news. Please put this back up.
The sad emu.
It's like Zachary Levi debating the emu.
I had to Google who Zachary Levi
I know
was.
who he was. Okay, Kathy, sorry.
Okay.
I'm enjoying Craig's pictures.
Apparently, these friends confirmed his fear. The revelation came about when Levi was asked why the turkey legs tasted like ham, and his cast member friend stated that the turkey legs were in fact emu. So emu tastes like ham. Okay. In an interview with E! News, the executive chef at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, Robert Adams, stated they are indeed turkey legs. He simply stated, they're real turkeys. It's what they are.
There you go.
That's a great argument.
This has been
Yeah.
since I worked there, since I was
Oh,
younger.
yeah.
Like, we just all assumed it was emu leg. Like that. That's a. I don't want to say that's a common thing.
There were
it's just
shirts out
weird.
there. It's like,
Yeah.
do you emu?
Yeah, and so this is weird that this has all of a sudden become a thing right now. I don't know. And I am actually surprised that they're actually turkey, to be honest.
And if
they're
they
saying it.
do taste like ham, I wonder what their belly tastes like. I'm just saying. I'm curious.
I've had emu before.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if I've had a leg per se, but I've had emu meat, and it is very dry. It is not moist and succulent like those legs are at Disney. So I don't know if they're emu.
I think the
What, you're
turkey
giggling
leg.
at?
I'm not giggling. He said two words that are like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, I said moist and succulent?
And I'm already thinking about the thing's belly. Oh, God.
I didn't realize succulent
Nightmares.
was a bad word. Oh,
Or
my
belly.
gosh. So but do you think it's emo, Rhino?
I've never had it. If you're telling me it's a dry meat, I've had a bite of a turkey leg before, and you're right. It's not a dry meat. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's turkey, though. I mean, it doesn't taste like the turkey you have on Thanksgiving. It doesn't, but that could be because this is brine for like 3 months
Right,
before they
and
serve it
smoked.
to you. Yeah,
Brined and smoked, exactly.
So I don't know.
I think they're overrated. I don't really think they're good. I think everybody likes just holding the turkey leg. It's not that they enjoy
There's
the
too
flavor
much
of it.
sinew and stuff in
Yeah.
it. For me.
Yeah, it's like
ugh.
biting into a tendon.
And I never have dental floss with me.
As you do. All right. And we have one more news story. We decided to do 4 today because these were a bit on the short side.
Okay, new experiences coming to the Disney Fantasy. Disney Cruise Line has announced some new experiences coming to the Disney Fantasy when it returns from dry dock this spring. For the kids, the new Star Wars command post inside the Oceaneer Club will let young cruisers train for missions against the First Order. They'll also be able to play with holographic models of the Millennium Falcon and other ships, plus learn to channel the Force. Ooh. Kids might even meet some of the members of the Resistance. Kids on the Fantasy will also get the first opportunity on board Disney Cruise Line to learn the ways of the mystic arts from Doctor Strange as part of the all-new Marvel Superhero Academy. In this area, kids get to learn from real-life superheroes about the values of enlightenment, worthiness, and loyalty. For the grown-ups, Disney Cruise Line has partnered with the iconic jewelry retailer Tiffany & Company for a brand new store featuring the Tiffany Tea Collection and Tiffany & Company diamonds. The whole family will enjoy the new Sweet on You ice cream shop featuring handcrafted gelato and ice cream, sundaes, homemade chocolates and truffles, plus a large selection of candy for purchase. Sweet on You will be located near the family pool and will include a nod to the classic Mickey Mouse cartoon shorts. And that's the news.
Excellent. We'll also include how to get in and out of the tub properly, lessons on tub etiquette.
Part of the muster drill now.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's not I'm trying. I'm trying to get our kids to like Star Wars. I really am. I think Julie, she just throws her hands up and she wants something to do with it. But I'm trying to get the kids to enjoy Star Wars. My concern is like with all these Star Wars things they're doing in the kids clubs, Ferris and Finley aren't going to know anything about it. I'm trying mainly for that reason and mainly for what's coming to Walt Disney World. But I just...
Have you started with Rebels? Because I mean, that's
all of them,
cartoon, and
and
that's might be something they relate to first rather than the actual movie.
I need a big tub of popcorn and just keep them sitting there.
Get the trash bag full and bring them home.
But I'm trying. But I'm concerned with them not relating to some of this stuff in the kids clubs. I mean, they can relate to Andy's room and things like that.
So you think it's too like niche, like too exclusively themed?
Look, they're 7. They're 7 and 8. Finley will be 7 next week, but they're 7 and 8. So they're, you're never too young or old to like Star Wars, but they just don't know it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get
I'm
into
too
it till
old.
I was like
You're
11
too
or
old
12,
for
I don't
it.
think. But
I think Disney Cruise Line is doing a great job integrating these properties into the ship. This is one of the things that they have the opportunity to do this. It's hard in a theme park to all of a sudden create, a Doctor Strange attraction or something like that. So being able to do it on the ship shows that they can do it. However, I think one of the most interesting things, at least for the people I know, is the introduction of Tiffany on the cruise.
God help us all.
This has taken sort of a page out of Royal Caribbean's book, which has all those high-end jewelers, the name brand jewelers on board.
One ship has a Tiffany, one ship has a Bulgari.
And this is different for Disney. This is the first time they've ever had, right, an outside vendor, as far as I know.
I don't know if it's the first time, but it's the first time I've heard about Tiffany. Now, I understood, you didn't mention it, but I've been told that there would be Disney Tiffany crossover stuff.
Oh,
And I don't know if that's true or not. That could just be rumor.
My news writer didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. If it's
copyright didn't
wrong,
do it?
it's Jeff's fault. I just want you
Jeff told you that?
Jeff told me. So, Jeff, if it's wrong, it's your fault.
A good opportunity for Disney to do some crossover merchandise, but I don't know if Tiffany works that way. I don't know if they've done other
I don't
lines
know.
like that. But I think you're going to see many more of this high-end.
Well, I think that's
stuff on
good
the
because
ships.
I've said that for a long time that there are adults who travel who don't need a back scratcher or a plush or one of the tchotchkes Disney markets to kids. I mean, there are adults.
Or even just the jewelry that they do have. There are people who want more expensive.
I mean, you're talking about, a high-end cruising experience.
I think having a range is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
You're attracting people who have the money to spend on that type of stuff. So for sure.
Before you email me, I am not suggesting that they take out the stuff that Disney sells. This is just a nice addition.
I agree. And just again, anything Disney does on their cruise ships to enhance it, make it a little bit different, because, for those of us who've done it multiple times, sometimes it gets a little boring. So you want to have something new and fresh and different to experience. Excellent. Kathy, thank you for
You're
reading
welcome.
the news. I appreciate
You
it.
did such a good
She
job.
did an excellent job. Not better than other people.
Just different.
All right, so we're going to move on to Steve Porter, who happens to be in the Magic Kingdom today, giving us a live shot from the Magic Kingdom. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's really crowded here today, though.
I got to tell you, the sky is beautiful behind you. Is it nice there?
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. It's pretty cool. So I'm like wearing a flannel shirt. People are wearing sweatshirts. So this is one of the nice days here.
Cool. Are you going to do Stitch's Great Escape, or are you just standing in front of it because it's a good spot?
Well, it's back open from being a seasonal attraction. So I just was gonna let you guys know that it is open today from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. So everyone's favorite attraction is back open.
Not even the full day?
No.
Not even the full day. No.
Wow. Put something else there. Good God.
So you'll have time after work if you want to go over.
Yeah.
That's right. You can rush right now. So you said the crowds are really bad, huh?
Yeah, the People Mover had a 30-minute wait, according to the cast member that I talked to. And everything else seems to be about 45 minutes or longer. So it's definitely the beginning of spring break. It's definitely happening.
Can you give us a shot of the crowds? Can you turn the camera around? Let's see what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I heard the mom say, "We're not doing Stitch." You go, Mom. You go.
Have you gone over to that? Ugh, gosh, it is crowded. So have you done anything fun yet, then? Or are you just waiting for us?
I've been running around taking some pictures for social media, and I actually went to the new Joffrey stand in Tomorrowland as well, and I got the Mission to S'mores drink. It's a little melted now, but it's an espresso with chocolate sauce and marshmallow syrup and graham cracker topping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how much was that?
It's,
$20?
It's $5.49.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's you're jaded. What a $5.49 for a drink.
True.
Isn't bad. Anything else you want us to know about the Magic Kingdom today?
Nothing else really. I'm gonna run around and do some more social media today, and so check out that. I'll be on Twitter and Facebook.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Go enjoy the rest of your day.
It's good to see you using both sides of the headphones.
It really is.
I
Thanks.
missed what you said.
It's okay. It wasn't important anyway. I was just being a jerk.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Is it me or was it better with that rhino there?
What?
Just felt that way.
You just told everybody it's not better or worse. It's just different.
That was the news.
Oh.
This was better. All right.
I think it's very romantic when we share the headphones.
Do you?
It's just me, though.
You're like Siamese twins from different mothers, is what it's like. Let's move on to rapid fire. Kathy, do you want to start us off with your rapid fire?
Sure, mine's very rapid. Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are closed Wednesday and Thursday due to the cold temperatures we're going to have here. That's it.
Mine dovetails very well into Kathy's.
Okay. Dovetail away, Kevin.
Misadventure Falls, the new family raft attraction at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon, is now open, except tomorrow and Wednesday. Today and
Thursday.
tomorrow. Whatever
Wednesday and
Kathy just
Thursday.
said those days. The fast-paced water slide takes you on a journey where you are sure to spot some of Captain Mary Oceaneer's prized finds. I have no idea what that means. Have a blast and, of course, get wet.
I need to go back to the whole cold thing and closing a whole park down because
I was gonna
when
ask that.
when I lifeguarded at Blizzard, we lifeguarded in crazy cold weather. That's when I wasn't a lifeguard; I was a coach because I didn't want to jump in because I had a coat on, everything else on. But I think people coming down like from a blizzard might want to go to Blizzard and actually swim in 60-degree weather and be fine with it.
What is the forecast? What are we looking at here?
It's
as far
in the
as temperature?
60s.
Yeah, the highs are going to be in the mid to low 60s, and the lows are going to be in the 40s.
Well, see the 40s, but I don't know.
The 40s are at night. The 40s aren't going to be during the day.
I can remember coming one time when we lived up north and came down, and the lifeguard was in, the red
Yep.
outfit, but they had a blanket wrapped around them, and we laughed because they were there. Look, they think it's cold. We thought it was nice because we came from up north. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are upset because.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I judged people when I was lifeguarding when it was cold. I'm like, why are you swimming? It's freezing out here. But people were swimming, just doggy paddling.
I think people from the north are okay with it as long as it's heated. If the pools are heated, then it doesn't matter what time of year.
Well,
that's all that really matters.
Are the things like the lazy rivers and stuff? Are those heated?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I first moved here and I was a cast member, so it was like 2008. It was like February, I remember, and it was like kind of cloudy, a little rainy, and I went to there was nobody in Typhoon Lagoon, and I was just like, this is amazing because you'd get out of the water and be like, oh, it's a little chilly, maybe because you're going from wet and then the breeze going through, but. I was still like, I walked on everything. I got to do everything. And the second I'm in the water, I'm fine because the water was heated. So I was like,
don't get out.
So I only go to those water parks when it's bordering on that.
I think the idea that you were the only person in Typhoon Lagoon is probably why it was closed as opposed to the temperature. That's just an opinion.
Could have been.
Efficiency, I don't know.
And I mean, I think that's part of it. Disney doesn't believe that people will go to these parks or enough people will go to the parks.
But as we're
chilly.
approaching spring break, I think we're, like Steve said, it's getting crowded here. I think people just don't care.
Oh,
If there are
Some-
people in the parks wearing sweatshirts and jackets and flannel shirts, that doesn't scream water park.
Well, people still go. I'm telling you, they do. I was there. And sometimes it's the pool's empty and you're making friends with Lizard on the lizards on the lifeguard stand because you're so bored. But we'll see.
Corey judged them.
I judge them.
is Lizard a
Why are you?
Lizard was the other lifeguard who worked with
the
Corey.
new attraction has an audio animatronic as you're going up. If
Is
that
that
makes
Captain Mary Oceaneer?
he's a parrot, and he talks to you as you're going up this one ramp. Because what's different about this one is you go in your tube. It looks like a big belt going up, so you don't have to climb up.
Yeah, instead of the normal style of you either drag a raft up or they have a raft waiting for you, it's like an actual roller coaster. So they have a flat surface that your tube will roll onto, pull you up, and while you're going up, they have the parrot animatronic that's squawking at you, and then the slide itself looks pretty cool. I mean, they released some video of it going around. I guess it's Disney's longest water slide that they have now. Lots of actual theming within. The one interesting part is it's very unlike a lot of their water slides where it's not like built into actual, like Blizzard Beach, all the slides are kind of built into the mountain. And same at Typhoon Lagoon, it's all built right into the theming. This is a little bit out on its own, but they did a good job of adding decorations, trees, everything around to really make it still feel like you're right in the actual environment. So
I bet that belt comes with a lot of warnings.
Well, so we're talking about a loose raft ride. You're just in, or a tube ride. You're just in a tube. This isn't a coaster.
They described it as a raft.
Yeah, I think it seats up
it's
to
a
up to
family
five,
style
four to
raft.
five.
Oh, so it's kind of like
There's a bottom in the raft.
Kali River
Yeah,
type
sort of.
raft, or is
It's
it?
like Steamboat Springs at Blizzard Beach.
But without seats.
Yeah, you have
feet are
straps that
touching,
you hold on to.
So it's like we would just be right next to each other holding the side.
right.
Oh, it's not like
and your feet
seats.
kind of meet in the middle, and
I don't
So
know.
they
It
put you
still
up the
looked
conveyor,
to
and then okay.
our families is a wimp. We wouldn't be on. You wouldn't get me on this.
I do like that you're going up on the conveyor because at Blizzard the tube goes up by itself on the conveyor, and you have to go up the mountain, and the tube's there waiting for you. So they've made the conveyor an attraction before you even really hit the water.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a great addition so far without even going on it yet. Just that they're giving so much love to Typhoon Lagoon between that and the Crush and Gusher. I think if the next time I go to a water park at Disney, I'll be more likely to go to Typhoon Lagoon just because it seems like they're getting all the love right now, and Blizzard Beach is just that park that's
there's
there.
a chairlift.
Yeah.
New chairlift.
There's a chairlift at a water
Typhoon
park.
Lagoon also is more prominent now with the new roadway. It used to be, in my opinion, more set back, and now
Right.
it's kind of like you can see the entrance.
Yeah.
So I think people might be more inclined to say, "What is that? I want to go to there." So good. Every time there's anything new at Disney, it's always great, right?
Speaking of new, does anybody know what's going on by Wide World of Sports? They have cleaned
Lot
all
of
of those
construction.
corners off.
Yeah, well, that's the back of Hollywood Studios Forest. So it's like where the cast member parking lot was. I think that's the other side of the woods, and they have to create a new retention area. It's like they have to. In the original plan for like the Star Wars area, I think what's going to happen is the park has to expand outward and absorb some of
Yeah,
the
that's
cast
not what I'm
parking.
talking
Well,
about.
yeah,
This
that's-
is next to art.
You can
I know what
see-
you're talking
you can
about,
see that
the intersection,
expansion,
the
but
big
you-
intersection.
We're talking about across the street from Hollywood Studios.
yeah, it's
and on
by
the-
Pop Century.
I don't know if that's where they're building the retention the area, because there was one in the woods, and now I think they said they had to move it.
Well, now all four corners are
I saw
barren.
that the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like someone just came in and wiped it all out.
Crazy.
So-
Crazy. All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Rhino, what's your rapid fire?
It is about getting photographed at a Disney bathroom. So the Tangled Photo Pass opportunity that you can go get your photo taken with one of the lanterns outside of the Tangled Fantasyland bathrooms has been indefinitely extended.
Now, we covered this last week. Were you not paying
Last week it was ending.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
extended.
now it's extended.
Now
They
it's
just
extended.
said like
Oh, right.
yesterday or something that they
Okay.
were gonna keep it going because I think people
I apologize. I was
put up
going
a thing.
to get mad at you, but
No, well, I was on an airplane last week, so I didn't see the show. I only caught a few minutes, but yeah, so they're gonna keep it going, which is cool. When I was at the DVC party a couple weeks ago, somebody invited me, and I got to see some people taking a picture there, and it was really popular. There was a pretty big line for it. It looks really cool. I mean, every photo I've ever seen of it, but I didn't want to wait and take a picture.
No,
I wanted
you don't
to use the
have to.
restroom, so. Yeah, now I can just go whenever. So it's a nightly thing, and it's weather permitting because it's obviously, as I assume all outdoor Disney photo pass things are.
so is it a loose lantern and someone hands you and you put it in your hand and you take a picture?
Yeah, and then so like they already have all the lanterns kind of set up for the restroom area because it's Rapunzel's tower is like right underneath that is where the two restrooms are, and it's a really nice area over there because there's a nice area to relax on the side that have like chargers built into the seats and everything too that I feel like not a lot of people know about, but so it's like a perspective thing. So the cast member takes the photo a little further back with you holding the lantern, and then it looks like all the other lanterns are kind of flying away above you. So it's cool. And they sometimes, I don't know if this was just for the DVC party, but there was Rapunzel and Flynn were over there. I know that Flynn's not a normal meet and greet person, but so that might be something that if they're not already doing that regularly, that would be kind of a cool thing to add over there too, I think. Yeah.
Very cool.
Limited time magic.
Forever.
Thank you, Rhino. Corey?
All right, this really doesn't have anything to do with the theme parks, but I guess as long as Pandora's opening, anything related to Avatar will. There's been another delay for Avatar, the sequel release, initially set for the end of 2014. The sequel to James Cameron's blockbuster film Avatar will be delayed for a third time. The most recent scheduled release was for Christmas 2018, but Cameron told the Toronto Star, well, 2018 isn't happening. What people have to understand is that this is a cadence of releases, explained Cameron. So we're not making Avatar 2, we're making Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. No information has been given regarding the other sequels scheduled for release in 2020, 22, 23. So, like I said, it's anything to deal with Avatar right now, with Pandora. I guess we all have to follow it.
I spent a couple days last week in New Jersey with my dad. Every commercial is about Pandora at Walt Disney World.
Is it really?
Oh, really?
And I
Wow.
mean, they are just flooding the market in the Northeast.
They did the ABC. ABC was there on a bunch of it. It was like the news.
The View was there, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like I'm not trying to be negative about it, but the more they show of it, the less interested I'm getting into it, because it's just clearly that they keep showing this one spot and that's it. And I'm like, and they go over the railing and they're like, look at these plants. And I'm like, good Lord. Okay, well, that shouldn't have taken you 10 years to build. So
Is it the shot of the bridge?
yeah, it's the bridge, and like right when you go in where you would see the floating island. So it's always that same drone shot of the islands that's clearly very forced, because we all have seen what it looks like walking into Animal Kingdom. And then it's like right below it, I think right as you go over the bridge on the side, there's going to be like some plants that light up and stuff. So I want it to be cool. I want to be able to enjoy it. As far as the movies go, nobody's going to care. It's been like 9 years now was when it was supposed to be, because the last one, the original one came out in 2009.
I'm going to watch the first one again. I think the last time I watched it, they were doing like a thing at Best Buy. You buy a TV and you get Avatar, like with it.
Yeah.
That was the last time I watched it, and that was like the DLP TV.
One of the things about the commercials that they're playing is it's always the same river ride, the sort of CG version of the river ride, and it's also the banshees falling off the cliff.
Yeah.
So it's the same commercial over and over and over again. I'm looking forward to something new at Disney, but I'm hoping they're not overhyping it.
Well, the ABC, the woman went into the ride, so they showed like the things you have to wear over your face in order to be like on the Banshee. So you can kind of make up, I think, at least from what I saw in the commercial, it looks like she's on the vehicle, but they don't show the vehicle a little bit. But it looks like
they were talking about you were going to ride a Banshee.
Yeah, and that's the one
But
that she
then
was on.
There was one that looked like she was in a mine train car. Did you see that one? You could see like the side of a car, like you would sit
no, I didn't
next
see
to
that part.
somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they're going to do that one.
Well, then they had a picture that made it more like originally the one picture that was leaked made it seem like you're going to be on an actual Banshee, and now it looks like it's going to be more just basic and plain and
okay,
not
that's what it looked like in
dressed
the
up.
video. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's they're still not done with it or what, or if everyone's expectations are just going to be completely wrong. But it's time to get in there and actually see what the heck is actually happening.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I also think that people who aren't fans of Avatar, it might make them go watch the movie.
I was just going to say, I've never seen the movie. So do you think it's worth watching the movie?
Wait, because I think you should bring that perspective for people. So don't watch it until
Okay.
after you go, because I think that's a really important perspective to have, because that could be a little bit of like where the negativity is coming from too. I don't know, but I just would be really curious to go in there and see what you have to say after not having seen it.
However, do you think Kathy will understand what's going on if she doesn't see the movie?
Well, that's what I want to know. That's why you can always. I mean, you live here, so it's easy for you to just go home, watch it, and come back. But
but figure how many Disney attractions have I done that I never saw the movie, and I got what the message was. So I'm going with the view of what did the Imagineers do.
Yeah, I don't think the storytelling is going to be overly complicated. I think it's going to be more like on the line of Cars Land, where it doesn't really take that much to understand what's happening in Cars Land. There's a bunch of cars driving
Do you know
around.
anything about the movie at all? Do you know anything about?
No, because it was on a couple weeks ago at like midnight, and I'm like, oh, I should watch this. And they were like in this warehouse or something, and I went, okay, that's it. I probably watched 5 minutes. So,
well, I'll tell you, before the opening of Harry Potter at Universal, I did a marathon of watching all the Harry Potter movies, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I got all those little hidden gems that were throughout. I think if I'd have walked in without watching them, I wouldn't have understood anything. But I'm hoping,
I don't think that's the same thing, because Harry Potter's like a fully realized, functional world in itself. Like you can feel that in the books, you can see it in the movies, you can see it in Diagon Alley. Like, whereas this is a jungle with, you know what I mean? Like there hasn't been enough of it yet that I don't know that.
Like Julie and the kids have not watched Avatar, and like I said, even with Star Wars. So I'm gonna switch it, kind of use that too, because maybe with what I'm saying with Pandora, that people might go in Pandora and want to watch Avatar. I'm hoping that my kids go in these kids clubs and say, okay, maybe I want to get to know Star Wars now, and maybe that will interest them into watching Star Wars.
Somebody in the chat room just said that the land takes place generations after the events of the movie. Does anybody know if that's true?
I believe that is true. It's after all the dust has kind of settled. It's not like it's taking place directly after
So
the
no,
events in the first
no
film.
characters from the movie will be in Pandora in Walt Disney World.
As far as I know, I don't believe so. I mean, unless
Just the Na'vi
Yeah.
as a species.
Right. So I mean that
Interesting.
sort of answers the question of how is he going to do it with new movies?
Yeah.
He just sort of bridges
yeah,
the gap.
it's if you make it try to keep the story as timeless as possible, then you don't really run into that kind of an issue with it. But I think after people get in the land, they'll go and discover the movie, and they'll have a better appreciation for it. In the same way that people did that with Cars, because when it first came out, that's kind of it's not a great movie, especially compared to the rest of the Pixar films. Go in Cars Land, then go back and watch the movie,
Yeah.
and you can appreciate it a lot more for what it is. Avatar was only a big spectacle because of 3D. The story was basic and plain. The effects were cool at the time, but now they look very dated when you see it flash by on TV. But you know, once you see it and you can be in that land, you might have a better appreciation for it. But Kathy, don't watch the movie before.
Okay.
Just don't.
It'll be interesting to see what you say
Yeah.
about it. If you
Okay.
think that
Yeah.
this is because we're going to have people who want to travel here who probably don't see the movie. So is it something they can do? Excellent. I bet you Corey didn't think his rapid fire was going to generate that much
Of course I
conversation.
did not.
Of course you did. All right. Thank you, Corey. Let's move on to Craig.
Okay, so the celebration at the top will now be available through September 24th, 2017. Originally, it was supposed to end on March 26th. And so if you don't know what this is, guests will check into California Grill an hour before the Magic Kingdom fireworks begin. They will be served a menu that will include, I still don't know how to say it, canapes,
Canapes.
a selection.
I like that version.
Enemies of the Navi. The canapes have attacked.
Canapes. A selection of sushi rolled by the expert California Grill sushi chefs, a selection of flatbreads and other small plates. There will be a bar with craft beers, wines, cordials, and coffee available.
Cordials.
Cordials.
Right.
The event costs $99 per person plus tax and gratuity, and basically you get to sit up in the California Grill and have a great spot of. You have a great spot to watch Wishes and eat your canapes.
Canapes.
This is a really interesting photo of those fireworks. They look very colorful. Is that one of our photos?
No, thanks,
No.
Disney Parks blog.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little misleading, but it's cool.
Or they're just good.
Very cool. Thank you, Craig. All right, we are going to move on to our thread of the week. And Craig was kind enough to pick out a thread of the week for us. So I'm going to have him read it, and then we can have a nice discussion about it.
Yeah.
Take it away, Craig.
So this was one of the biggest threads that we had on the boards last week into this week. And the title of it is, I am not staying at a value resort. So it is obviously from the Disney Resorts section on disboards.com, and it is by Karen4546. So here we go. I'm sure there will be some who think I am being snobby, or both, but really I am not. My brother has decided to take my mom to Disney World in August. He still has a child in school, so he has to go during her break. He is thinking that a value would be better for him cost-wise, since he will need 2 rooms. I told him I would split the cost with him, paying my portion and half of mom's if he wanted to rent points, and
Excuse me for just a minute, everybody. Is that troglodyte really just say canapes?
He did. Pete is asking from, I don't know where, the,
camera
great
behind.
beyond, if Craig just say canapes. Yep.
On the 15th floor of the Park Hyatt in New York City watching all this crap come down.
But you're in New York City. Do they serving canapes? All right, this is working out great.
Okay, he hung up. So yeah, basically, because I forgot where I'm at with this, and
Her brother's staying.
brother's staying.
She offered to pay for half.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I've read lots of posts on the values: smaller rooms, smaller bed, smaller vanity. I do enjoy a larger space and love room service, but can you convince me to stay in a value resort? And if so, which one? I don't love a long walk to transportation from the room. She has heard good things about Pop's Food Court, but basically she just wants to know what the positives are of staying in a value resort, if there are any.
Here's the deal. People have replied to her and pretty much said, no matter what they tell you, whatever what they tell her, she's not going to be happy. She's already made up her mind that this isn't going to go well for her if she's forced to stay in a value resort.
3 snaps in the Z formation, right?
What?
I don't know what's happening.
What was that?
3 snaps, and she's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
However, for those folks who are thinking about staying at a value resort, there are perks for sure. There are pluses for sure.
Yeah, you pay less.
Exactly. First and foremost, you have more money for other things.
Well, I think, when I used to live up north, being able to come to Disney, we always stayed at a moderate, but if all I could afford was a value, a stay at a value resort at Disney is a whole lot better than not coming to Disney
Right.
at
and
all.
also I think it might give you the option to come to Disney twice a year,
Right.
as opposed to once.
Or as John said, it might allow you to eat in a nicer restaurant,
Yeah.
buy another souvenir. I think it's one of those things that, are the beds really smaller?
Yeah, they are.
Are they? I don't.
Yeah, they're full size rather than like queen size at the
You
moderates.
can't jump
and-
as high on them.
That's
what I found.
So when
Especially
I,
while you're snapping.
when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but we would come down and visit my great grandmother who lived down here every year. And one of the things was is we saved up our money all year, like collecting bottles, whatever, and coming. And so it was like we each had our own money that my mom put for us in envelopes and stuff. And like we were sandwiched in the backpack kind of family. So I never stayed at Disney property because of that. So we were always in like whatever the seediest and shadiest hotel was that was closest and cheapest, but like the murder scale was a little lower. That's where we went. And so when I first stayed at a Disney resort, when I came for grad night, when I was 18, I was blown away by the experience you have at a Disney resort. And you cannot undervalue what it's like to be able to not have to drive a car around here.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
yes, they take a little bit of time, but I will tell you right now, if you're somebody, I mean, she's stayed at a resort before though, is that the problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she stayed at multiple.
I will, my argument for the value resort is just that like the difference between here and Disneyland is when you come here, you get completely absorbed
Right.
and immersed into your thing. And I think that's kind of an undervalued part of the vacation is that you disappear into Disney,
Think about, I apologize, Craig. Think about your Magical Express is included.
Yeah.
So now that's not a cost to get to your resort. There's no internal cost to get around because you can use transportation. Some of the values are located further from a theme park, so it takes you a little bit longer to get there. But would you rather not go? Would you rather not have your brother be able to go to Disney with you because he
Right.
can't afford it? No, go and enjoy it.
We always thought taking the bus or the trams or any of that was part of our vacation. I didn't need to step on a monorail and get to wherever. And I said, we did the one year, I said to the kids, look, we can go, but we can't buy a lot of food while we're there. So we went to Walmart and bought sandwiches and stuff like that. And the game for the kids was Mickey's not going to get our money. So every time we did something that Mickey didn't get our money, and that's the vacation my kids talk about the most.
Kathy holding dollar bills above Mickey's head in the theme park. Mickey can't get it. Mickey can't get my money.
I want to chime in. Karen was worried about the long walk from the actual room to get to the transportation, and right there, that's one of those big misconceptions about value resorts. And that, like, if you're at Animal Kingdom and you're all the way out on the longest wing, that is a longer walk to get to transportation.
Boardwalk,
than
Yacht
anything.
Club.
Exactly.
We stayed in a room at the boardwalk one time, and I'm pretty sure we were in Tampa by the time.
That was really fun.
I want to point out too is that so the Art of Animation is a value resort, right? And it has what I think is the best cafeteria in all of the Disney the resorts for the just go and grab food on a tray. So they have this bad rep that some of it. I guess it just kind of depends on which one you're going. Into.
I will not say anything nice about the All Stars. Every time we would do a 7 and 7, and it came up to a day where we'd have to go to the All Stars.
Like, can we leave now?
Yeah, no one wanted
We're
to
done.
show up.
But Pop Century,
Pop in Art of Animation. I love going over there. We spent hours and hours at Art of Animation just a couple weeks ago over there hanging out. It's a lovely resort, and there's nothing like super wrong with the All Stars. It's just, they get a lot of traffic with all the groups that come in and move through, and they just don't get the TLC that some of the other values get, unfortunately. And hey,
I don't like
that's
sports.
life, but yeah, I know you don't.
I think it depends on where you are in your Disney life. Rhino said there were times when we came down and we stayed off property, and that was the best thing in the world. And then when we could stay on property, that was the best thing in the world.
Because you were here.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I don't think I would ever stay in a value resort, but that's just where I am.
Well, when we did the Diz Unplugged event in July, we stayed at Pop just to be closer, even though I don't live that far away. And we weren't really even in the room that much. So if you're not going to be in the room a lot,
That was my...
if you're not going to do room service and stuff, save the money. You can use that money for something else.
I think it's more important that she spend time with her family.
Right.
And have her brother there and her mother there than to worry about that, where they're staying. Now, she did mention, they're thinking about renting DVC points and getting a DVC. If you can rent points cheaply enough.
Yeah, do that.
It's changed everyone's mind. You do that.
Yeah, do that.
That might be a better way to go because you'll probably get a nicer accommodation. But then again, it's all about how much are those points going to cost you. What was the other thing someone had said on that thread? I can't think of what they said. I remember thinking that was a very interesting point about the value resorts, and now I can't put it in my head. It'll probably happen after the show is over. All right. Well, thank you, Craig, for finding us that thread of the week.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
That's like a weird pause.
I was hoping he would respond. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody here, for participating in our conversation, for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody at home, for listening and watching. That'll do it for our show. Stop watching.